Hello, everyone. It's a beautiful Friday evening here in San Jose as we're getting ready to kick things off between the Bellarmine Bells and St. Ignatius Wildcats. My name is Jordan Watkins, along with my colleague Oxaj. You have a really interesting matchup tonight. What's the big things you're expecting from this one?
Well, Bellarmine has really struggled so far in this season, but they notched their first league win last weekend's Reardon. You're hoping to see this momentum continue against what's sure to be a tough opponent in St. Ignatius, a rival as well.
And well, we had a penalty on the initial kickoff, and then here we go, and St. Ignatius already with a big return. They're going to have really good field position, as it was a phenomenal return there by number 80, Danny Ryan. And looking like St. Ignatius will start off with the ball at their own 40-yard line. So coming into this game, pretty interesting matchup. A player to look for St. Ignatius in their offense. Teddy Buchanan recently committed to UC Davis. And this is an offense that, for the most part, they can mix things up on you, I think it's fair to say. Against St. Francis, they threw the ball a lot. In terms of the offensive line, they don't do a lot of things that are too complicated. As you see already, they're starting to throw it here, and a pretty good gain on first down, again about 5, so it'll be 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion.
Yeah, and one thing we've seen constantly with this Bellarmine defense is cornerbacks playing off a lot. They really allow these underneath throws. Typically go at one safety high, sometimes with 2 when they get burned. But it'll be interesting to see how Bellarmine adjusts if they keep on allowing these short gains, which we saw a while back, especially when they were playing midi.
Here is the handoff. The Bells force it outside and bring it down. That is Mizon Henry, but it looks like we're going to have a flag. Izon Henry might have gotten the face mask on that tackle.
Yeah, I don't know exactly which way they're going to call it. That was a pretty mean stiff arm there right on the face mask, and the tackle as well. Great job there by the Bells, holding contain, making him bounce it to the outside, but always having the outside edge. And, yeah, it looks like they called it on Izon Henry, it seems.
Yeah, more times than not, they're usually going to favor offense in those situations. So in that case, it was a good play there by the Bell defense. However, they're going to have a first down because of the penalty. Just a 5-yarder here in high school football, so it'll be 1st and 10 at midfield.
I think with the Bells going with this single high type of look, they have to be able to stop the run when they're in this type of look. If they don't, then they're just going to get destroyed, basically.
Play action, there's pressure, and Buchanan will roll out and just get out of bounds. I don't think he gained anything, so it'll be 2nd and about 10.
Yeah, great pressure there by the Bells, shooting right up the middle. Force them outside. Quarterbacks, when they get flustered out of the pocket, tuck it away, take a tiny bit of a loss. One thing I've always noticed, and I've always wondered, when a quarterback's running like that, why don't they just throw it out of bounds, not lose any of the yards?
Yeah, sometimes a lot of quarterbacks, they'll think they can get more on the ground than what's actually available. Here's the first official run of the play, and it is stuffed. The run on that play, Joey Celentano, but nothing available up the middle.
Yeah, and we just mentioned about Bellarmine having to stop the run, and right there, beautiful penetration up front, forcing SI into a 3rd and long. Now this is where it's okay to play off, keep your corners 7 yards back, and see what happens.
So 3rd down and 10. Trips to the far side of the field for the Wildcats. Buchanan looks, is going to throw, and it is caught for the first down right around the 37-yard line. And that was number 80 on the grab. Danny Ryan, first down for St. Ignatius.
That was a beautiful grab right there. Leapt up, snatched it out of the air. I thought for sure that was going to be an interception, a terrible overthrow. A great job there.
Yeah, that ball did hang in the air for quite some time. So on the Bellarmine side, you're pretty hopeful. But nonetheless, 1st and 10. The Wildcats now on the Bellarmine side of the 50. And here is the quarterback keep with Buchanan, and Bellarmine staying pretty stout up the middle, only giving up about 2 yards there.
Yeah, again, great job by the Bells, really reading their keys and most importantly, staying disciplined. This is probably the one thing about their defense that I've always admired. They don't get psyched out too much. They always stay in their gaps, make the right play.
And that's the thing, even talking to Coach Henry after practice on Wednesday, he was talking about how even up front for St. Ignatius, they don't do too many things complex in terms of the run blocking scheme. And again, a quick throw and a first down will be gained on that one. A couple missed tackles there. Like number 9 on the completion. That's Michael Harrison, the senior. So another first down.
And no press there, sit down, 7 yards, pitch and catch, easy money for any offense.
Buchanan throws again quickly. There's Ryan once again, very active early in this game. Looking like I think he got about 11 on that one, which would mean another first down for St. Ignatius, and it is.
Yeah, after that 3rd and 11, looked like Bellarmine would have some momentum here. But St. Ignatius has just been, calmly throwing it down, taking whatever they can. They're marching right now. Time for the Bellarmine defense to hold up in the red zone.
Play action, Buchanan rolls, pressured, and gets it off just in time for the completion, caught by number 87, James Adams. A minimal game, but even from that standpoint, we've seen pressure early on so far from Bellarmine. They just can't get to Buchanan in time.
Yeah, again, great pressure right up the middle, forcing him to roll right. Tough catch, especially right there. That was a really tough catch. But good on Buchanan, being aware, making sure he can see all his receivers. He didn't lose any yards, which is what you always want to see when you're down in the red zone.
2nd and 6, they're at the 9. And we'll have a stoppage of play. Looks like a timeout will be called here for St. Ignatius.
Really early timeout. Looks like they must have seen something they didn't like or saw something they really liked, think they can score a touchdown off of. But anyway, as we're looking here, this Bellarmine defense, from what I've seen in the games I've gone to, it's always been an issue of really tackling, especially as the games go on. They'll start off strong. The offense will falter. They stay on the field for a while. They get a little tired. Soon, teams are imposing their will on them. So it's really a team effort here on both sides of the ball. The offense has to stay on the field, and that's when, the defense will be fresh and ready to go.
And that's the thing. And, of course, obviously, when you're on defense, we've already seen 1 third down conversion for St. Ignatius. When you have them in 3rd and long situations, you got to get off the field.
Absolutely.
And coming into this game, even again talking to some of the coaches in practice, they were talking about how there are a lot of really good athletes on that St. Ignatius side. So just as you mentioned, making those 3rd down stops, making those open field tackles. We see a lot of short passes already for St. Ignatius. When they make those short passes, you have to be able to come up and make that one-on-one tackle.
Down here in the red zone, I think this plays to Bellarmine's strengths. They're very heavy in the trenches. They like to dig deep. They like to go with a lot of base looks. So this is probably where, if they want to impose their will, this is the place they'll be able to do it.
So here we go, 2nd and 6, 8:08 on the clock here in the first quarter. Cannon's a toss play. The Bells defense is there. He makes a cut, and he's close to the goal line. How the first down is Celentano, but just short of the end zone, but it'll be 1st and goal, St. Ignatius.
Tyreek Madriz Jinx right there was on the outside from what it looked like, and he did a great job of setting the edge. Of course, they're an easy cutback that gets you down there, but, on a toss play like that, you want to make sure you set the edge. Allow your linebackers and defensive ends a chance to get into the play.
And that was the thing. It's like you mentioned, the edge was definitely set, but you got to make sure the flow of the defense is there to help you out.
Mm-hmm.
So the first time now for the game, St. Ignatius under center. Here's the give up the middle, and nothing doing. The Bellarmine defense flexes their muscle on first down. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Yeah, that's not the place you want to attack this Bellarmine defense. Those guys in the trenches, they know how to get to work. Low man wins there, got great leverage, pushed him back. 2nd down now.
Yeah, Justin Lewinsky and Marcus Mifsud, 2 stalwarts up the middle for that Bells defense. For the Wildcats now, they'll go empty. Buchanan looks, is now going to keep it, and he finds the end zone. There's the whistle, touchdown. Looked like a draw play there for Teddy Buchanan. And on the first drive, St. Ignatius is on the board.
And you know, a common theme in this drive from the Bellarmine defense, got to tackle. You got to wrap up early. Even there, it was second effort that got that touchdown, something that they'll hopefully address as this game goes on.
Again, Teddy Buchanan, big-time player, going to UC Davis, the commit. And so now St. Ignatius will set up for the extra point. As the kick is up, and it is good by Keelan O'Connell. So 7:18 left to go here in the first quarter. St. Ignatius already up to a 7-0 lead.
It was a long drive. They start around the 40-yard line with a great field return. From there, Bellarmine did a good job putting them in tough situations. Third downs, third and longs, second and longs. They just didn't finish, which is a common theme with this Bellarmine team. Getting to the red zone, getting these third downs, and just not making the plays when they need to.
Again, as we get ready for the kickoff here, you talk about this Bellarmine team. Obviously, they're riding a little bit of momentum right now. They're coming into the game 2-4, but one of those 2 wins is a big 2 overtime game win last week. They stopped Archbishop Riordan on a 2-point conversion and double overtime. And so you think definitely coming into this game, they feel a little bit of that momentum going against a good St. Ignatius team.
Oh, absolutely. This is a team that, you know, the last few years haven't been great for Bellarmine football. There's been some ups and downs. This is some time when everyone's excited. There's talent on this team, to be sure. And I think momentum's that tiny nudge they need to get on the right track.
A lot of times that is the main thing that you need to get going. So here we are, ready for the kickoff as O'Connell sends it downfield. Short kick fielded right around the 25. And Bellarmine will get about 8 yards on the return from Andrew Packard. So here comes the Bellarmine offense.
You know, I don't know if that was a shank or if he did that on purpose, but whatever it was, it's almost a good play. One thing these Bells are very good at is returning kicks. Both Izon Henry and Adam Hayashi are really explosive in the return game. Might have worked out for St. Ignatius there.
And that might be exactly what they're looking out for. As now the Bellarmine offense comes out with Wade Smith, the sophomore quarterback, at the helm. First play he's going to give to Izon Henry. Gain of about 3.
Now, really interesting thing from the Bellarmine offense, they barely spread it out. I mean, most of the time you'll see them in that double wing formation. Interesting, you know, set right out of the beginning, trying to make sure they can push these athletes to the outside and then run it up the gut.
And even talking to Coach Janda, it's about that set for him because it's almost a mixture of new school and old school. As there is a completion to the outside, but going backwards on it is Nick Teresi. Only gains about 2, maybe could have had about 4 or so. But yeah, talking to Coach Janda, I was asking him about that. How do you fuse, the new school with the old school? He's been coaching for going on 36 years now. And basically his quote was, I love it all. But you kind of see that fusion with the shotgun, but still the double wing, as you mentioned.
Mm-hmm. It's been one of the major points for anyone watching Bellarmine football is how will they adjust with offenses going to these spread air raid type things. Nick Teresi, by the way, former quarterback for this team, now playing wide receiver. A lot of athletes playing quarterback for the Bells.
Speaking of quarterbacks being athletes, there is Wade Smith up the middle on the keep and has the first down.
Yeah, right there. I mean, new school, read option, right up the gut. Beautiful to see. I mean, you really want to see this Bellarmine offense succeed. They have the pieces. It's just been some inconsistencies here and there.
And so now, just like that, it's like Wade Smith comes off the field. First and 10 at the 49. There's the give to Henry and lowers his head and accelerates forward for about the gain of 4.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Janda will rotate quarterbacks in, usually not this early. It'll be kind of predictable when they're down 20 points, 18 points. He'll throw in quarterbacks that can just throw, throwing Wade Smith when he wants to run. Interesting quirk right out of the gate for this Bellarmine offense.
And just like that, Wade Smith now back into the game. Second down, 6 to go at the St. Ignatius 47. So a huge drive here for Bellarmine early. Want to answer the points that St. Ignatius put on the board as there's another run by Henry for 2. So it's 3rd and manageable, 3rd and 4. And we'll have a big personnel change for Bellarmine on offense here.
Including quarterback, Wade Smith comes out again for 3rd and 4.
Again, that unique double wing look for Bellarmine here on offense. As a quarterback keeper up the middle, breaking tackles, and Bellarmine will have the first down.
Yeah, I mean, really interesting out there. We've talked about new school, old school, and, you know, Coach Janda's really showcasing that on this first drive. A lot of read options and really interesting looks out of the double wing. A lot of old-fashioned power out of, you know, shotgun looks. It's an interesting quirk. I think the biggest issue with the Bellarmine offense of the past has been this worry that it's predictable and that they just need to have the talent. That's not the case anymore.
That was Joaquin Moreno on the run, and there's a little wing T look for you almost. Going up the middle, Henry. We do have a late flag right about where he was tackled, so you wonder if someone got a face mask or anything like that. That's exactly what it is.
Good call. No, Joaquin Moreno, another one of those quarterbacks who will fill in at running back when necessary. It's a really interesting look that Bellarmine pulls out here. There have been a lot of times we'll see Smith and Moreno in the backfield together. Coach Janda isn't really one for trickery, but you just have to think. 2 quarterbacks in the backfield, so many things you can do.
Again, a little quarterback counter look out of that old flex bone formation. A little bit of that old school again, the fusion, if you will, and that was Joaquin Moreno, number 14, on the carry. Now in comes Wade Smith.
Now, this is the type of drive Bellarmine always needs to have. Killing probably 4 minutes, and they haven't even scored yet. This is what rests your defense, lets them get back on the field aggressive, ready to play. This is how you help out your entire football team.
Now Smith, they faked it to the fullback and give it to Henry on the outside. He has room and is down around the 21. Look like Teddy Buchanan, he plays quarterback and linebacker for the St. Ignatius team, makes this tackle.
You know, I always know about two side players in high school. Your star quarterback playing linebacker, that's something else. I mean, you got to be worried every time he tries to make a tackle.
No, that's a great point, and that's actually something the Bellarmine coaches talked about. It's like, look, if they want him to play linebacker, we got to make sure we get offensive linemen up to him in that second level, make him feel a couple of hits. Here's Henry on the toss play, cuts it up the middle, and according to the spot, looks like he has it. And another 3rd down conversion on this drive for Bellarmine.
This is a clinic on how to run this run-first offense. They're just grinding it up the middle, killing a ton of time. St. Ignatius knows what's happening, too. It's just a matter of who wants it more.
And right now looks like it's Henry that wants it more. Look at him dash up the middle of the field. Another first down to the 6-yard line. And right now looks like Bellarmine's going to answer 7 for 7.
Absolutely. I mean, biggest thing with Henry I noticed there, he gets a little loose with the ball sometimes, probably the only negative we see. Right there, breaking tackles, running it straight up the middle. You love to see it as a Bellarmine fan. You love to see it as anyone who wants to see this offense succeed.
First and goal at the 6. Moreno now in. He takes it up the middle. Gets about 2 yards on the play. Brought down by Siaki Hunkin.
Again, you know, with the Bellarmine quarterback, running back tandem, biggest thing is they always fall forward. Like, there's some pretty big guys here. who just, they always get you that extra yard. It's a hidden trait, not a lot of people harp on. But when you look at it and you see it add up, extra yard here, extra yard there, that's how you win football games.
Getting that flex bone look, Henry in motion, and the second effort will get him across the goal line. Touchdown, Bellarmine.
Beautiful offensive drive by the Bells, culminating in a great touchdown run by Izon Henry. Great response, killing up almost 6 minutes on the clock. Exactly what you wanted to see out of the gate.
Big time response from the first drive of St. Ignatius by Bellarmine. Now here comes the extra point from Andrew Schaefer. Snap, hold, kick, everything's good. And with 46 seconds left to go in the first, we have a tie game at 7.
Yeah, I mean, defense had a little bit of issues, but you liked what you saw early on. And then the Bellarmine offense, this was beautiful. I mean, I know it sounds like I'm laying on the hyperbole, but after watching some of the performances this team has had, just seeing a drive like this is awesome. Just being able to run the ball, get everything in, going through different formations, different looks. It's everything you could ask for, and it's a great start for this Bellarmine team.
And again, just going again back with the confidence and momentum factor. This is a team that they're going against, again, 4-2 in terms of St. Ignatius. They've been flirting or in that whole Bay Area top 25. They were around 22, I know at a certain standpoint. So, again, riding that momentum wave off last week's win, to have that opening drive that impressive on the ground has to do wonders right now for Bellarmine.
Well, absolutely. I mean, this is a we belong drive, basically saying last week wasn't a fluke. We're
Right.
ready to go.
Schaefer ready to kick it deep. Beautiful end over end kick all the way to the end zone, so we'll have a touchback. And here comes St. Ignatius out for drive number 2. One of the big things, too, I've noticed on both teams' first offensive drives, you look at the average third and distance to go. A lot of third and shorts for Bellarmine. And, of course, there was that one very third and long for St. Ignatius, which they did convert. But still, you feel like the odds are, if that's the trend that goes on forward, Bellarmine's defense is going to feel pretty good about that.
Absolutely. I was a little surprised seeing SI's offensive game plan early on. It got better as they got closer. I think the biggest thing is how these Bell corners play, how aggressive they are. That's usually the issue.
Here's Buchanan throwing towards his sideline, and that is complete. Again, going to Ryan.
I mean, right off cue, nice little 9-yard completion right there because no one was in the zone. Bellarmine plays really off coverage. It's something I've noticed all the time. I'm not sure why exactly. They have the athletes at corner to play some press. But you always have to worry that that's their biggest weakness on defense.
And now a run up the middle. That was number 3, Matt Silva. Gets enough for the first down. I know that's a great point because, I mean, especially if you're St. Ignatius, if you can get 7-8 yards or so every first down, you'll take it.
Oh, absolutely. Especially if, this, as we see a screen pass, not exactly what I would call against this Bellarmine defense, but if you see these defensive linemen playing this well, really penetrating, getting upfield, you'll just take those 7 yards, hope you can break a tackle and make it a big gain all the time. You'll march in for a touchdown every play, every drive.
And that's exactly what they're going for. 17 seconds here to go in the first now. 2nd down and 7. Buchanan, again, a quick throw. It is caught underneath, but nothing much after the catch for Danny Burke. Got about, I'd say, 3 on that. So it'll be 3rd and 4, which will probably be our final play of the first quarter. As it is, and we are even at 7 between St. Ignatius and Bellarmine. So we'll switch the fields. And what have you seen so far in this game?
You know, I've seen a great offensive performance by Bellarmine. One drive, but they showed a little bit of everything that they like to do, which means never pass the ball. But they did a good job there. The defense, you know, they're playing well. They're playing aggressive. Biggest issue is just being able to tackle securely and making sure they're more aggressive when the ball is thrown. Because if you're going to play that off, you have to be able to, you know, burst out of your back pedal and make a play on the ball.
And here's the big question now. We talked about how Bellarmine likes to play off. It's 3rd and 4. So now in these situations, I mean, let's see. Are they going to play up and give and, you know, to play some tougher man-to-man defense potentially, or are they going to play off and just, again, trust that one-on-one tackling?
You know, I think with the relative success they had getting pressure, you play off, send a blitz, hopefully get Buchanan to roam around, get a little frantic, see what happens. I don't think Bellarmine is going to press up any time in this game.
And, of course, I mean, even on that first drive, you did see there was a good bit of pressure that Bellarmine was able to create up front on Buchanan. Be imperative they get it here on this 3rd and 4 as both teams now coming out to get ready to start the second quarter. Again, 7-7. St. Ignatius went down the field to score on their first drive, and then Bellarmine answered. Cannon looks, easy throw to Ryan, and I think he turned upfield enough to get it. He did. They'll mark him down at the 45 for the first down.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what we were just talking about. Adam Hayashi was playing way beyond the sticks right there. They did a good effort trying to get to that tackle, but there's just too much space. I mean, you're gonna get 4 yards in that play almost every time if you catch the ball.
So with that, you have 1st and 10 again at the St. Ignatius 45. Buchanan gives it up. Nice cut back. Taking a defender with them for a few more yards. It's number 7, 2nd down. About 4. A little bit of up-tempo, no huddle now from St. Ignatius. Again, they try to go up the middle. This time, not as much success, but they do have a 3rd and 2 now.
And going back to that first down play, Mason Ciari made a great play there. You know, coming back, chasing down the running back there. You know, this is what I think SI will do more often as this game goes on. They'll try to play quick and aggressive. Bellarmine will kind of sit back. Be a clash of tempos, really, because, you know, if you try to play this long possession type game with Bellarmine, you're probably going to lose. This is what they're good at.
And now they're going outside on the run, and there's plenty of room and then some for the first down.
Just great job there. Breaking outside, great blocking all around, getting the outside there. Easy run, lots of speed. Great job by SI moving the ball now for a first down, and they're marching down the field.
Couple of changes offensively now coming in for St. Ignatius. They get their play. Now going with a little bit of a no huddle, but not necessarily up-tempo look. Again, they'll go with the run. And the interior of that Bellarmine defense holding strong on that one, again, of only about 2.
Yeah, great job there by the Bells. You know, pressure inside. We're saying the same things again and again because that's what's going on right now. I think the Bellarmine defensive line hasn't really been the issue so far. Probably won't be throughout this game. It's going to be these corners, these safeties, especially these linebackers against tight ends, making sure they can really play the ball. But this is good. This forces SI to probably get one-dimensional further in the game.
And quick throw. Ryan has it over the middle, and then some inside the 15. We'll have a flag down. Not sure what that one was for. But as it stands, it's a first down for St. Ignatius to the 13-yard line.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what this will be either. Maybe a holding? Yeah, that's probably the only thing I could see here.
Looks like it's a sideline warning on Bellarmine.
All right.
I mean, it's funny. You can hear right next door to us, the Bellarmine coaches, they thought they were going to have an interception on that one.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that was a really nice pass there. Floated right over the linebacker into the hands of Ryan. He's quickly become, like, the primary target. Great job, though, especially. I mean, Ryan has the size, especially against Hayashi, who's 5'7" at a corner. You match him up, you'll want to take that anytime you can get it.
Of course, Danny Ryan coming in 6'1". He and Teddy Buchanan, both seniors, so they have that chemistry. As there's a nice play in the backfield on the stretch run. Looked like that was number 6, I believe, Tyreek Madriz-Jenks.
Yeah, no, Tyreek has really come on as the season has progressed. In the midi game especially, made a ton of great plays. As the season has gone on, he can't get off the field. He plays on defense. He plays hard. He's always there when Bellarmine needs it. Lays down a couple great hits every game, too.
So with that, a tackle for loss, 2nd and 12. Cannon looks, going to throw the fade to Ryan. A beautiful route, and it is caught for the touchdown.
I mean, that's a go-to matchup anytime you can get it. 6'1" on 5'7". Already playing off coverage right there. You're right, beautiful route, beautiful throw, great execution. Good job by SI getting back up ahead in this game with a little different look, actually, than what we saw in this first play.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned that you can't throw that ball in a better position. Against senior to senior, it's such a tough thing to cover when you think about the chemistry that's involved there.
Yeah, especially what we've seen so far. Ryan and Buchanan seem to have this bond between them, knowing exactly where they'll be, exactly where to throw it. Neither's let each other down so far.
Here's Keelan O'Connell for the extra point. Up and good. 8:38 to go here in the first half. St. Ignatius retakes the lead, 14-7.
No, for Bellarmine, this is probably a drive. They're not going to change much on it. Probably going to see 5 minutes come off the clock. 4-yard run here, 5-yard run there. Coach Janda rarely panics in any situation. He can be down 21 with 8:38 left to go, and he'll still stick to his guns because it's worked so far. So don't expect any changes from this Bellarmine offense this next drive.
And, of course, the big thing there, too, is knowing that Bellarmine, since they're the ones that kicked off, they're going to get the ball to start the second half. So they want to take their time here, get some points on the board. They'll take it back in the second half, potentially with the ability to take the lead. So here we go. Henry and Teresi are back to return.
And actually, let's watch here, see if it's another squib or if they actually kick it back farther, and then we'll know if that first kick was a shank or if this is the strategy SI is going to use to try to control field position.
And two of the best playmakers for Bellarmine are back deep. And this time it does go deep. It's Teresi, and that goes halfway into the end zone for a touchback.
Yeah, I guess I overanalyzed that first kick there. Probably was just a shank. Opportunity now for the Bellarmine Bells offense. Get in there, reestablish the tempo of this game, control how they want it to play out, kill some clock, get some points, tie this game back up.
And the big key on that first drive for Bellarmine, a lot of third and short situations, which of course makes it so much easier to convert, especially with this ground first approach of the Bells.
I always tell my little brother this when we watch football. If you run 4 yards a clip, you're going to score a touchdown every drive.
You'll take that. As there is a play action and throw underneath, but a nice play in open field by Siaki Hunkin.
No, quick pitch and catch there, nothing much to see. You take some yards. First pass play actually for Bellarmine, which is always interesting to see when that happens. Sometimes you'll get that in the third quarter, sometimes it's the first play. It's a testament to Coach Janda's, willingness to run the ball and want to run the ball.
And of course, you see it on play action, too, which goes to the success that they've had running the ball in that first quarter, as there's Henry on the ground, got about 2. And just like that, you have about 3rd and 5.
And these are always the limbo plays for Bellarmine, where, you know, you consider passing it here, but you never want to pass. I don't think Coach Janda ever wants to be in a situation where a pass should be the primary call. Not because he doesn't like calling those plays, but because he's built, like, his reputation. He's built this team, the basis of being able to run the ball.
Well, if you ask your little brother here if you can get 4 yards, since it is 3rd and 4 officially, you're feeling pretty good. But all in the backfield is St. Ignatius. Looked like that was number 10. Of course, Teddy Buchanan, that was the first one there for the tackle for loss. 4th down, and looks like Bellarmine's going to punt this one away.
Looked like it was going to be a read option look, but Buchanan just shot it up. Doesn't matter who was going to get the ball there. He was right there. Tough look for the Bells, you know. Not only did they not score any points, it's a 3 and out, barely take off like 40 seconds on the clock. Put your defense in a tough spot and give SI great field position with a chance to score again.
There's the punt from Andrew Schaefer. Ryan calls for the fair catch right around the 46. And that's where St. Ignatius will take over for the 3rd time. So far, they're 2 for 2 in terms of scoring touchdowns. Again, the last drive ending in a beautiful fade throw from Buchanan to Ryan. Senior to senior.
I think the formula has been pretty clear. Run it up the middle, try to get some yards there. Throw it, you know, into soft coverage and give the ball to Danny Ryan. Has been a great weapon for SI so far. And clearly Buchanan's top target, as we've seen.
Here come the Wildcats. The wing in motion. And here is the keeper. Nothing doing up the middle for number 5, Zach Taylor-Smith. You'll see him play quarterback a good bit. In the backfield, number 50 for Bellarmine, absolutely having nothing with it, Dominic Guttadaro.
Yeah, great hit, strong, drive through the body, lay him on the ground. Loss of 1 yard. Keep SI behind the sticks. I think that plays into the type of defense Bellarmine wants to run.
2nd and 11. Taylor-Smith still in at quarterback. Pump fakes, throws now to the sideline. There's a missed tackle and another one and a big gain after the catch by Danny Burke. And a 1st down inside the 40 now for the Wildcats.
Yeah, and I know one thing I noticed on that play, Igo Domine, safety, was actually moving over to the side, trying to help Adam Hayashi cover Ryan. Little wrinkle the Bellarmine defense had, but like you said, missed tackles galore. Nice pickup for SI.
And, of course, that was one of the big things you said coming into this game for this defense. As now Zach Taylor-Smith will run over to the left side, no contain, and he's able to get about 5.
Also trucked Adam Hayashi right into the ground in the process. You know, he's a small guy. He's feisty, and he has some great plays. Had a killer interception a few weeks ago. But he'll be bullied in some of these plays for sure. That's the way it goes in football.
Yeah, a lot of times the big man will win in this sport. So here we go, 2nd and 4 officially. There's the give up the middle. That is Joe Celentano. Looks like he'll be just short. Well, let's see whose spot they go off of. No, it'll be a 1st down. Looked like this near side judge was saying for a 1st down. The far side had it a little short, but the near side prevails. 1st and 10 for St. Ignatius.
Now, Teddy Buchanan is just not on the field right now. You did mention that SI will throw in 2nd quarterback sometime, which could make sense, but it's pretty interesting how their best player, arguably, wouldn't get the field, especially in, you know, getting close to the red zone right here.
Here we go, the pitch, and there's a fumble. Ball's on the ground, still loose. There's a scrum forward. Who has it? Anything goes at the bottom of those piles. Bellarmine says they have it, and they do. Well, there's a break.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's what this defense needed. That's what this team needed. 3 and out. SI's marching down the field. You'll take drop pitches whenever you can get them.
It looked like a pretty good pitch over to Joe Celentano. Again, it's still a senior backfield in terms of Zach Taylor-Smith and Joe Celentano, but he was never able to hold on to it.
Yeah, I don't think that was the quarterback's fault there. Just off the tips of his fingers, ball batted forward, but didn't help him at all. But it's a golden opportunity for Bellarmine now. Get a break, time to score in 5 minutes, go into the half tied up with a chance to lead when you start the third quarter.
So here we are. Here's the give. Henry trying to find a corner, and Teddy Buchanan was out there waiting for him. It's going to be a loss of about 5.
Yeah, right there. Great job by Buchanan. Hitting the outside, forcing the run back in. The defense swarms him. Not much eyes on Henry can do there.
Again, we talked about it. It is very impressive how effective Teddy Buchanan is on both sides. I mean, you see a beautiful throw again for the touchdown on that second drive for St. Ignatius, and he's made a couple pretty good plays so far on defense too.
Oh, yeah, I mean, he's done it all for this team. You only sort of wonder if it was him at quarterback for that last offensive drive, if they would have scored some points here.
Play action. And there's trouble. And finally throwing it away is Wade Smith.
Trying to throw it to Tyreek Madriz Jinx. Great pressure there. Wade Smith, pretty athletic at quarterback, managed to evade 1 sack. But defense was swarming. Did the right play there, even though it puts Bellarmine at 3rd and 15.
I mean, you could assume, especially around this side of the field, they'll play it pretty safe here.
Yeah, I'd expect a draw play here, something quick and easy. If you're lucky, you get the first down. Otherwise, punt it. Hope your defense gets back on the field, continues to play well.
Here's Wade Smith coming in with the play call. As Bellarmine needs to hurry here. Get this play off. They do just in time. Smith steps up, looks, throw. No, he was sacked. Ball came out. And I believe St. Ignatius recovered, and they did.
I think on our side, on our right, we have the Bellarmine coaches talking. Are they calling it?
Oh, looks like they're saying Bellarmine recovered.
Oh, lucky break there for Bellarmine. I think the coaches by our side were trying to tell Coach Janda that pressure was coming, and it did come. Tackled the ball a lot of the times, ends up working out. Ball came loose. No chance for Bellarmine right there.
Yeah, I tell you what, though, that's a phenomenal effort from Wade Smith to get back on that football, because it looked like it was going to be clear recovery from Andrew Cummings for St. Ignatius. So just like that, Bellarmine will be able to play some bit of field position here. As there's the punt, low line drive. St. Ignatius will get out the way, and it will be down around the 46-yard line.
I got to ask, because you played defensive end, when you were rushing the passer, would you try to tackle him, or would you go for the ball and try to get a strip sack there?
So usually for me, it depended. So if I'm coming off his backside, the big thing for me is obviously you want to make sure you secure the tackle first and foremost. And then with your backside hand, you swipe for the ball in his backhand. Now, if I'm coming from the front side, I think the thing for me was that way, since the quarterback can see you coming, it's just make sure you get the tackle.
All right. Just interesting to see, especially when you look around football. All different players have different ways of approaching it.
Absolutely.
The nuance of defensive line play is incredible to watch.
It's one of those things that I feel like a lot of people, they don't understand or appreciate, just in terms of there's a man open, and it's Ryan again. Touchdown, St. Ignatius. What a pass from Teddy Buchanan.
He got leveled there and still managed to throw a dot. Beautiful pass there. Great catch. That's an amazing play. I mean, I'm a Bellarmine student and a Bellarmine fan, but I can't discount that. That was incredible to watch.
54 yards on one play. Again, on the rollout from Buchanan, it looked like Ryan just was able to get behind the whole defense. So here is O'Connell again to attempt the extra point. It is up and good. Didn't take long for St. Ignatius, but you look at the scoreboard now, they are up 21-7 with 3:34 to go here in the first half.
Yeah, it's not great, obviously, especially on a play like that. But the one solace Bellarmine has is now 3:34 is plenty of time to march down and get a touchdown. As we mentioned, they get the ball to start the second half. They're still in this game, obviously. A lot of time left. The offense has scuffled a bit after their torrid start, so it'll be interesting to see what exactly they do and how they sort of play around now, especially with Buchanan wrecking shop at linebacker.
Absolutely, and I mean, I think you said it best. The big thing right now, if you're Bellarmine, you just have to find a way to get some points on the board here before the half, so that way when you get it to start the second half, you're still in really good position. Absolutely no needs or reason to panic at all.
Not at all.
So here's O'Connell, has the ball teed up at the 40, ready to go. And you have Izon Henry back to return along with Nick Teresi. There's the kick. It'll send them back again to the end zone, so there's the automatic touchback.
You know, I think the biggest thing here for Bellarmine, which will be interesting to see, is which quarterbacks they bring out on the field. It's always a good indication of how Coach Jan is feeling about the game so far. Wade Smith looks to be in the game right now, which means he's not panicking. They'll still go through the regular motions of their offense, try to work some stuff out.
Again, 3:34 to go. And even looking at it from practice, you look at Wade Smith, the way he was able to throw the ball as he does here. That one is a tad bit high.
Just a tad.
Intended for Andrew Packard. It'll be 2nd and 10.
A great play design there, though. You had 5 yards. Bit of an overthrow there, but, you know, nothing too serious. Bellarmine still has plenty of opportunity. And Wade Smith, for him, the biggest thing has always been how he throws, because when he runs, he's a truck. He really does shed people off him. He always falls forward.
The bad news, though, there, if you're for Bellarmine, Wade Smith, look, he came off the field shaking his hand. Don't know if it got hit when he threw the ball. So you have Tommy Anderson in now, and he'll throw, and that's complete. And there's a first down. And getting out of bounds is Tyreek Madriz-Jinks for a first down, Bellarmine.
Yeah, no, and Tommy Anderson is the better thrower of the two quarterbacks. But as a junior, well, actually, he has a better read of the offense as well. But he's not as explosive as Wade Smith, which means when he gets into the game, Coach Janda can't do some exotic stuff he likes to do in his run formations and run sets. Still, it's the depth of this team at quarterback which amazes me. They can plug in a lot of players.
We've already seen 3 already. Here's Anderson trying to throw the screen, and it is absolutely blown up. Siaki Hunkin was all over it.
We've been saying his name a lot. He's been active this entire game. Read that play perfectly. Great tackle right there. And Izon Henry is waving to the sideline coming out of this game.
And it took a pretty good hit on that screen. Because that was a play that Bellarmine was really working on installing for this week. 2nd and 12 now. Here's Anderson. Has some time, tries to roll out, now has to evade pressure, and down he goes. Couple of Wildcats were around him, including Andrew Cummings and Duke Reeder.
No, great job evading the initial pressure, moving back around in the pocket, but tripped on himself, went down. 3rd and 18 now for Bellarmine. Down 14 with 2:20-ish left to go. It'll be interesting to see what they do here, especially how Coach Jander decides to do this play. What do you think you would do?
I think in this situation, you still consider somewhat to play it safe. Obviously, you think about, so we're going to have an illegal substitution penalty now on Bellarmine at too many, breaking the huddle. But you think about what just happened on the last drive where they had a fumble. Now, fortunately, they did recover. But because you just had that fumble, you see there's pressure that is getting into that backfield. Do you really want to risk it, or do you want to try to play it safe and then trust your defense to not have that hole in the coverage again like on the last possession? I'd play it safe here.
Yeah, I think especially after that penalty, they will as well.
Well, looks like they're going to throw, and it is caught by number 16. That's Nico Domine. So they get all the sack yards and penalty yards back, but it'll be 4th down.
Yeah, and probably timeout by SI here. Looks like it. Stopping the clock, they'll hope to get more points back, increase their lead heading into halftime.
And 1:52 on the clock, so definitely plenty of time. We've already seen how explosive this Wildcat offense can potentially be.
Exactly. The connection between Buchanan and Ryan has been lethal. When those two are involved, the offense has constantly scored. The one time Buchanan wasn't on the field, that was the one time SI didn't score on a fumble.
And again, even with that, like it is not uncommon. It's happened in plenty of games before where you see Zach Taylor-Smith come into the game. Again, another senior that they can put in at quarterback, which, especially for high school sports, you're not able to say that often for certain teams.
Absolutely.
But again, this is a St. Ignatius team, again, on offense, very impressive, very explosive coming into this game. Of course, putting up 35 points against St. Francis, a team that has not given up 35 points in about 18 games until they played the Wildcats. Already at 21 here, as there is the punt. Very good punt. Ryan backpedals and lets it over his head. And it'll be down at the 15. Phenomenal job by Andrew Schaefer.
Yeah, great punt right there. One thing, though, they've listed Ryan as a tight end. I don't know how many tight ends you've seen that return kicks. This guy's more like a weapon than a tight end, someone who probably doesn't really need a positional designation.
Yeah, I think the only tight end that I've seen that I'd want him returning punts. He plays in the NFL now for the New York Giants, Evan Ingram, who runs about a 4.5 40, so it makes sense why he'd be able to do it. 1:41 to go. St. Ignatius with the ball at their own, we'll call it the 16. Buchanan, quick throw, batted down. Madriz Jinx was all over it. And that's going to be a big thing going forward for Bellarmine. Again, the short passing game is a big thing for St. Ignatius. So these defensive linemen, if they can't get to the quarterback, it's imperative they get their hands up to try to get in those passing lanes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it feeds into what Bellarmine is trying to do with playing off the ball, making sure they don't allow any deep shots. Defensive linemen have to help out their corners, help out their safeties. Madriz Drinks has been all over this game so far.
Second down, and again, another quick pass. There's Ryan. He's going to get out of bounds, and he'll have enough for the first down at the 26.
Well, looks like looks like he's like a few inches short. Yeah.
Again, looking at that far side judge, it looked like he was going to give it to him. As Buchanan goes with the sneak, and there's so much room over there, he actually ends up getting about 15 yards. You don't see that much on the quarterback sneak. So first down for St. Ignatius right around the 42.
Great awareness by St. Ignatius right there. Hurrying up, getting right up to the line, to the ball. He looked great there, but you're right. You don't see that very often. I mean, there's plenty of daylight right there.
Yeah, we talk about the open field tackling. There was a huge open field tackle there. Otherwise, it would have been another 6 points for the Wildcats. As here's Buchanan. He's going to step in and throw over the middle of the field. Intercepted The ball was overthrown and picked off by Gabriel Shannon. A huge play on the overthrow, and Bellarmine takes over with 58.2.
You know, this Bellarmine defense needed that. It's exactly what they needed for this team to play well heading into this break. They're only down 14. With this offense, you always have the feeling that if they get it together, they'll be able to put some points up. But as you mentioned, big overthrow by Buchanan there. A bevy of Bellarmine defenders just hoarding the area. There was no chance that was going to be completed. Great job there by the Bells.
Yeah, big play there. Now again, if you're Bellarmine, you have a chance possibly to get some points on the board as there's a run. Pretty conservative play there on first down. See what you can get. And that was by Wade Smith. So good to see him back in the game. And there's a timeout.
Yeah, Bellarmine heading into this drive with 3 timeouts, used one right there. You know, I don't know exactly how aggressive they'll be. I do know they'll probably try to drive it down to field goal range and from there see what they can do. Wade Smith, I mean, this is what he's great at. When he gets a head of steam, it's hard to bring him down. And he always manages to get those extra yards we were mentioning earlier.
So again, you see Bellarmine calling a timeout. They're usually on these first down situations. You see if you can gain some yards, see what you get. If you want to be conservative, if you want to be aggressive. And obviously Coach Janda has decided, let's dial something up here, see if we can get some cooking here going into halftime.
I mean, after all the miscues this offense has had after their initial drive and the big plays SI's been able to get, if you can go into the half down 11 or even better down 7 with getting the ball to start the third quarter, you'll take that all the time. I mean, Bellarmine feels like they'd be right back into this game.
And 51 seconds now to go in the first quarter. 2nd and 5 for Bellarmine at the St. Ignatius, at the Bellarmine 40. And here's the throw from Smith. That one a little high and falls incomplete. So it's 3rd and 5.
It was crowded in the pocket there. Not enough space to really set his feet and get that throw off. Great job by SI. Luckily, threw it to where no one was, not even his receivers or any SI players. So Bellarmine lives to fight another down.
Yeah, if you're St. Ignatius, you're thinking, well, we just overthrew a pass and you got an interception on it. Where's our return of the luck?
Yeah, that's the way it plays out.
47 seconds now, 3rd and 5. Smith looks, throws, and again, that one sails as there was pressure on him. He's a little slow to get up. Believe that was number 11, Siaki Hunkin, who was the one that got to him. And, yeah, you see Smith is a little slow getting off the field.
Yeah, I mean, in plays like this, as it looks like Bellarmine is bringing the offense out there for this 4th down.
It looks like they're going for it. But we'll have a timeout first.
I mean, this is one of those game-defining plays early in the game, 2nd quarter right here. You mess up, SI has 1 timeout and 40 yards to work with. There's a good chance they put some points up. That completely changes the way this game is working out. It goes from 2 possession to 3 possession. It's a big call for Coach Janda and the Bellarmine coaching staff.
It is a big call, and I think you're seeing right now, actually, I think Coach Janda made the decision during that timeout. He's going to bring out Schaefer for the punt. But again, I think that's exactly to your point in terms of, well, we just saw them throw an interception, so let's trust the defense to make a stop here and potentially just go down at halftime, only 2 possessions.
Yeah. Conservative play call. I'd say it's the right play call. You know, the other 40-yard line, Bellarmine probably goes for it, but you're not out of this game yet. You definitely don't want to make yourself come out of it with a bad call.
So again, you have 2 returners back for St. Ignatius. There's Ryan and Danny Burke on the far side. And Schaefer gets off another pretty good punt. Low line drive. Ryan's going to think about it and get out of there. A smart decision on his part. And it is down by Bellarmine at the 20.
Yeah, Schaefer's had some great punts in this game, really taking control of field position. That's the way Bellarmine likes to work, especially with their offense. You never want to be put in a tough position. Great job there. 33 seconds now, one timeout. SI's already up 14 points. You have to think they'll be a little aggressive here, try to see if they can test their luck, even though they threw an interception the last drive out.
You make a good point. They had an interception, but at the same time, they had a big touchdown play just the drive before that. I mean, you see Zach Taylor-Smith now in at quarterback. And they will run, and there's a pretty good gain over to the right side, and Bellarmine is able to step up and make the play. So looking like St. Ignatius will play this one pretty conservative going into half.
Respect the call. I mean, 14 points, you don't want to jinx it. Go in there, get your defense prepped. Yeah, they're walking off the field right now.
Yeah, they're walking off the field. The coordinators are heading out of the booth down to the field to talk with their teams at halftime as the clocks now strike 0. We are done with one half. St. Ignatius 21, Bellarmine 7.
All right, stick around. 15 minutes or so. We'll be back for the third quarter. You've been listening to BCP Sports Live on YouTube.
Third quarter about ready to get underway here at San Jose City Community College. And so far, again, 21-7, St. Ignatius on top of the Bells. However, for Bellarmine, they will get the ball to start here in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, this game is far from over. The Bellarmine defense has had some great plays, actually, as this second quarter came to a close. Made sure this was only a 14-point deficit. But the offense has been scuffling. There's been some issues with the run game. They haven't been getting the yards on first down and second down they've wanted. Bellarmine isn't the best when it comes to third and longs. So it'll be great to see this offense really adjust, try to get back to their roots they had on their first drive, where they just dominated the line of scrimmage en route for a touchdown.
Again, I'm Jordan Watkins alongside Akshash Dweevadula. And again, a big thing for us going forward, we saw again that impressive first drive that Bellarmine had offensively, where they were able to move the ball on the ground. Again, a lot of third and short situations they were able to convert. And so the big thing here, again, starting the second half, when they'll get the ball, they got to go back to that and hopefully get that going again.
Yeah, I think the time when Bellarmine's really in a position where it's going to be tough for them to come back is when they spread it out wide and try to throw it on first down, second down, third down. It'll be tough. I think right here what you want to see is a nice 5-6 minute drive, run the ball, get a touchdown, really reassert yourself in this game. It's been a lot of SI doing stuff right or wrong. Bellarmine's been off to the side. It's time to get back into the picture.
Again, and speaking of that, in terms of SI, St. Ignatius doing things wrong, 2 turnovers there in the first half for the Wildcats, one on an interception that was overthrown by Teddy Buchanan, and, of course, a fumble by Joe Celentano. 2 errors by seniors that you usually would not expect that from the St. Ignatius unit.
No, not at all, and I think for Bellarmine, this is the reason why no one's panicking right now. You've seen that you've been able to get some pressure. SI has been prone to some mistakes. There were a few penalties as well that we saw. Face masks, as far as I can remember. There's all about small stuff right now. Not worrying too much, making sure you get your coverages right. You shade help when you need to. And making sure you can stop Danny Ryan, who's been absolutely incredible this game for SI.
2 touchdowns for him already. And again, another thing in terms of the theme of not panicking. If you're Bellarmine, think about it too. Last week, weren't that many points scored in that first half against Archbishop Riordan as well. So they found a way to get things going in the second half, and then, of course, overtime. So you know that you have a coaching staff and a team that is capable of making the necessary adjustments to get things going.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this throughout the broadcast. This is a game for Bellarmine to solidify their momentum, to keep this train rolling, especially with tough games coming up as we move on. It will be big for them to, especially in the start of the third quarter, reassert themselves, put out a great drive, score some points. This game is right back up for grabs.
Well, the warm-ups are done here to start the second half. Both teams doing their final huddles to get ready to take the field. As Bellarmine will be going from right to left. And get ready to kick things off now for St. Ignatius. Keelan O'Connell. We have Nick Teresi and Izon Henry back to return, 2 of the better athletes again for this Bellarmine team. And we'll see if they'll get a chance to make something happen. The last 2 kicks from O'Connell have gone over the heads into the end zone, which, again, automatic touchback here in high school football. And here we go. And the kick takes Teresi to the end zone, so it'll be a touchback. And Bellarmine will start possession at their own 20.
SI's done a great job of neutralizing Bellarmine's return game here. When they haven't actually punted this game, turnovers and touchdowns taken at that. On kick return, they've pushed into the end zone, except for that one time we had that kind of shank that ended up working out in SI's favor, taking away a crucial component of Bellarmine's attack.
So here's Miazon Henry up the middle, only about one. Again, that's going to be such a big thing for Bellarmine in the second half. Again, reestablishing that run game, because even from there, whether you just want to dominate them up and down the field with the run, you can also potentially set up that play action offense as well.
Yeah, play action is going to be big. It's something Coach Janda doesn't use extensively, but when he does pull it out, it always has great effect. You have to wonder, he's been so good for so long at calling plays, keeping the big picture in mind. He might be using this second down to set up something great for third down.
Again, here's the run. Henry trying to bounce it outside with some success, and has enough for the first down.
And right there, great job by Henry. Looks like he is in a full speed right now, just what I could see, but great job of fighting, pushing, getting to the outside, getting the first down. That's exactly what Bellarmine wants. You don't want to get into those third down situations, don't want to be behind the sticks. Keep it moving, keep it driving.
And again, that's one of the first times we've actually seen Izon Henry in this game make it to the outside. Kind of got to see some of that speed that he has, and getting those legs getting and going. So again, first down now at the 31. It'll be Henry again off the right side as he goes forward for another good gain, about 7 on that one.
And you love to see that momentum right there. The entire offense pushing, going downhill. Nice clip of 6 yards there. Nice job getting Izon back into the groove of things. Second quarter kind of struggled as the entire offense did, got bottled up, some negative runs. Great to see from what is arguably Bellarmine's best player, most talented player on offense.
Yeah, best player and best playmaker as well. So again, that flex bone look. Here comes Henry. It's a little toss, but he'll actually cut it inside. Got to about the 41. We'll see. They're going to give that the first down or measure. Nope, they'll give him the first down. So already Bellarmine with some success that they really haven't seen on offense since that first drive.
And Joaquin Moreno coming into the field right now, replacing Wade Smith. This multi-quarterback look we've seen so much from Henry. Whenever he gets these quick pitches and tries to dive upfield, he has such a great head of steam and always falls forward.
Again, the give to Henry. And to your point, obviously, there is Joaquin Moreno in the game. Wade Smith is the one that started it, but we've also seen Tommy Anderson at quarterback too as well.
Moreno gives an extra element to this offense with his speed versus Smith's kind of bulky ability. It's a lot of different looks that SI has to account for. With Moreno and Henry in the backfield, it's very hard for a defense to key in.
There's an option look, and on the inside veer, Moreno keeps it. Not too much going on there, gain of about 1, so it's 3rd and 8.
Yeah, this isn't what you want to see for this Bellarmine offense. 3rd and 8, obvious passing situations. It gets tough here. They'll probably try to spread it out, get something pretty easy, try to break some tackles. But there has to be a little bit of urgency in play calling here. You can't just run the ball and hope for the best.
Well, they're in the flex bone here. Again, Wade Smith back in. They're trying to go the sweep with Henry. Can he get the corner? No, not completely. Good job of pursuit by the St. Ignatius defense. It'll be, looks like about 4th and maybe 4 for the Bellarmine Bells.
Looks like the punt team is coming onto the field, so Bellarmine obviously trusting their defense here. Got some inkling of an offensive resurgence from the Bells. The drive started off well, kind of stalled when they got behind the sticks, as to be expected. It's time for the defense to see if they can keep this momentum going, get the Bells right back into this.
Andrew Schaefer on the punt. He's had a couple of good punts so far today. He's down St. Ignatius inside the 20 a couple of times. See if he gets the bounce here, as it looked like it might have kicked off the heel of one of the St. Ignatius players, but good awareness by one of the Wildcats. That was a little further up to grab onto that and just hold on to it. I believe that was number 87 with the heads-up play.
Yeah, James Adams, the second
James
tight
Adams.
end. You know, I saw that and I was about to scream out fumble because that's exactly what you want from your defense and from the special teams. These kind of breaks here, special occasions, but as you said, great awareness by Adams, able to get onto the ball.
Trips look over here to the right side. Run off the left guard by Joe Celentano. Not much doing. Again, as we mentioned back in that first half, it really has not been much going on for St. Ignatius up the middle of this interior defense of Bellarmine.
Yeah, I mean, when Buchanan's been targeting Ryan on the outside, as Ryan is now matched up against Henry, a better matchup for the Bells, that's where they found their success.
Quick screen out. Bellarmine was ready for it, but a couple of missed tackles will result in a good gain for the Wildcats. Looked like number 33, Drew Brock, was the first one there, but couldn't make the play.
Yeah, no, one thing I'll be interested to see is if Izon Henry starts shadowing Daniel Ryan instead of just playing on one side. Put your best cover man against their best receiver. You try to neutralize the threat. Ryan is matched up against Henry right now.
Yeah, there he is on the near side of your screen. Buchanan looks the other way, and it is caught for the first down. Michael Harrison making the grab. It looked like Bellarmine was ready for it. They just couldn't make the break on the play.
Yeah, I mean, it was a better job by Hayashi than what we've seen in some of these plays. It was really aggressive. Strong catch there by Harrison, getting that first down. But a better defensive showing, actually, for the Bells just to start. Taking away some things SI wants. Just got to clean up the tackling, like we've said.
And they fake the screen, looking deep. And on the inside, wheel route is complete. Good ball caught by Danny Burke. And a big play for St. Ignatius. They'll have it now at the Bellarmine 36.
And Gabriel Shannon has to turn around and try to make a play on that ball. It was a great throw by Buchanan, no doubt. But at some point, you got to either commit to try to get the receiver down and try to stir the ball out there, or turn around and make a play on it, because looked like he was just willing to give up that reception there.
That was another big emphasis on Wednesday during practice, as they're going to take another shot deep, and it is caught at the 9-yard line. Another big play for St. Ignatius, as coming down with the grab looked like it was, I believe, number 9, Michael Harrison once again.
Yeah, Michael Harrison listed at 6'3", versus Adam Hayashi, 5'7". That size difference is a big deal, especially with these jump balls right there. You know, SI is getting a little loose with it, chucking it deep, trying to let their receivers come down with it, and right now they're having success there.
And I think you see the adjustment that they've made for Henry guarding Danny Ryan as they're going other places with the ball, as Teddy Buchanan keeps it up the middle. Got maybe 2. Second and goal at the 7.
Now this will be interesting to see what the Bells do. Hayashi is probably going to be matched up against Harrison or Ryan. You know, he's a great cover guy, but he doesn't have the size to compete. So how the Bells shift coverage over to try to help him out is going to be a big thing for this defense in the red zone.
And they have Henry on Ryan over on the right side. Quick throw out, almost swatted down. A good job by the Bells to swarm to make the tackle on Matt Silva. So it is third down, a big third down here for Bellarmine in this defense.
Yeah, I mean, down 14. Field goal still makes it a 3-possession game, but you don't feel like you're out of it yet. A touchdown here is a backbreaker, to be sure.
Definitely more of a moral victory if you can hold them to 3 instead of 7 here.
Definitely. I think this defense is showing signs of life. 2 tough plays, you know, great catches by SI, getting them down here. When it's been close quarters, they've been able to play aggressive and play well.
Cannon looks, throws, it is caught. Touchdown, St. Ignatius. It looked like Bellarmine had a break on the ball, but just unable to get there.
Looks like it's Danny Ryan yet again.
So they find Danny Ryan once more. It looked like it was Nico Domine over there on the defense. Had that hand extended. We couldn't tell there was a completion or not until the official put his hands up. So many bodies in the way. St. Ignatius with another touchdown, and here comes O'Connell onto the field to tack on the PAT.
Yeah, I mean, Henry did a great job on Ryan throughout that drive. They moved Ryan off that side of the field, lets him get a touchdown. You know, Bellarmine, it was really a game of like a few inches on this drive. An inch here and it's an interception, an inch there and they swat the ball down. Sometimes that's just the way it goes. Now the offense has to come back and strike quickly with only 4:11 left to go in this third quarter.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm not going to necessarily say it's not panic time per se, but if you're Bellman, you got to get points on the board here.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the offense has shown signs of getting back on track, but the biggest issue is even on that touchdown drive they had, they killed almost 6 minutes on that drive, which is a lot of time. You know, when Bellarmine has to go hurry up, that's where you see some of these issues at hand. I think the biggest thing will be who's quarterback here. Will it be Wade Smith? Will it be Tommy Anderson? Will it be Joaquin Moreno? A lot of different options the Bells have, usually situational.
And, of course, thinking of that situational offense, you think maybe we'll see a little bit more Tommy Anderson here on this drive just because, again, that urge maybe to start passing the ball a little bit more here on this possession.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Tommy Anderson gets a lot of run time in this second half.
O'Connell restarts the action, and for the first time, Izon Henry's going to have a return, goes up the middle, and is brought down right around the 33.
And yeah, that's what happens when you let Henry get the ball in space. He's a great athlete, he's a great playmaker, as we've mentioned. Little bit of a squib there, you know, low line kick. Bellarmine has better field position now to start this drive.
Again, the first time we've really seen Izon Henry get his hands on a kick return. And just as we thought, Tommy Anderson now in at quarterback, so have an idea of what Bellarmine's looking to do here on this drive. Play action, they're going to let it fly, and incomplete. Almost intercepted, turning his head at the last second on that play was Reed Hansen, the corner for St. Ignatius.
Like you mentioned, turning his head, and that's probably the biggest thing here because he was pretty handsy going up the seam. Doesn't turn his head there. You think official might throw pass interference. It's a judgment call, but great job there reacting to the pass, almost getting interception and forcing the incompletion.
Of course, the big thing with man coverage there, you have to look at your receiver, who you're guarding. Once his head turns around, you probably need to turn around too because that ball's on its way. Second down and 10 now at the 33. Anderson, they give it on the sweep. It's like a slot receiver sweep. Trying to cut it up was Nick Teresi, and that looks like St. Ignatius is saying there's a fumble.
Officials ruling it down on the field, so.
They did come up with the ball, but as you mentioned, officials saying that he's down.
The thing with the slot receiver sweep is that if you don't get the blocking you need, there's so much lateral movement that when you have to cut it back upfield, if the defense has reacted well, they're already there. You'll probably only get 2 yards on that play. Now 3rd and 8 for Bellarmine as Joaquin Moreno comes back onto the field. Again, it'll be interesting to see what the play call is in these passing situations.
And in terms of speed, probably the faster of the 3 quarterbacks, and he'll keep it up the middle, but again, not much doing there for Bellarmine. And it'll be 4th and long. Moreno slow to get up. Seems that actually that was number 11, Izon Henry, who was slow to get up. Like he's dragging that right arm a little bit. Might be a shoulder injury. As Andrew Schaefer back again for another punt.
Yeah, he's been beat up this game. There have been a lot of plays where SI's been able to swarm and get some good looks in. That play call, pretty conservative there.
And just getting it off in time as Schaefer is almost blocked. He gives off another absolutely wonderful punt right to the sideline, and Danny Ryan calls for the fair catch at the 21. That was almost danger zone for Bellarmine because coming off that edge was Liam Woodruff. Almost got his hands on that punt.
It looked like it was a block all the way there. And, I mean, a lot of these punts we've seen from Schaefer people have been raining down on him. He's had a lot of close calls. That one the closest. He's done a masterful job. Probably one of the best weapons Bellarmine has had in this game. And a major reason they're not facing an even larger deficit. Field position has been huge.
Big drive here for the Bellarmine defense, looking to get either a 3-and-out or a turnover, as they're going to go with a run over the left side, and then there's the new fad in football nowadays. Go for the hurdle. Hayashi was on the stop. It's a gain of about 5. So 2nd and 5 to go at the 26.
Yeah, and off the field right now is Izon Henry. Not sure exactly what the issue is, but replacing him is Thomas DiVittorio at corner.
Throw and caught. Another intermediate completion by this time Zach Taylor-Smith in at quarterback. So a first down for St. Ignatius.
Yeah,
now they're going to move the chains.
And that was to Jackson Kennedy, a 6'4" senior. Again, so a lot of size for these receivers going up against some pretty short corners, and we've seen who's won that matchup quite a bit in this game.
Here comes the outside run. No contain for Bellarmine, but a good job coming into the game. DiVittorio stepping up to make a one-on-one tackle.
Yeah, he did a great job pushing his blocker, getting that contained Bellarmine had initially lost. Nice low tackle, cleaning out the runner. 2nd down.
Yeah, it looked like for a while that was going to be a lot more than just a two-yard gain. Nonetheless, 2nd and 8 at the 33. Taylor-Smith bobbled the snap, picks it up, runs over to the right side. And again, I tell you what, you come into the game, the ball's gonna find you. Thomas DiVittorio again having to make a tackle.
Yeah, and I mean Taylor-Smith right there. Great job, quick reaction off bobbled snap. Manages to get 7 yards on that. Brings up a 3rd and 1 as SI is going quick to the line.
We've seen them do a QB sneak already in this situation. The Bellarmine defensive line pretty tight. They go with it again, and I don't think he has it.
Neither do I. That was a great job. They pinched right before they snapped the ball, allowing them to get that interior pressure. And yeah, it's going to be short, 4th down.
Absolutely huge stop by the Bells up front. You see St. Ignatius, they want to go for it. We'll see what exactly they decide. Is the offense still on the field? Of course, in these situations, you had to be on an alert for the potential freeze play where there really isn't a call made in the huddle. It's just a lot of dummy snap calls to see if someone jumps off sides.
Yeah, I was about to say, with the quarter about to end, throw in a little hard count here, see if someone jumps. Otherwise, probably punt the ball in the 4th quarters.
And they'll have a little bit longer to think about it as the clock winding down now. And looks like before we get to the end of the quarter, 2 seconds to go. And have a delay of game. No, they got the timeout off first, so they'll sacrifice the timeout for the delay of game.
Yeah, I mean, play clock in high school football is inordinately large. I mean, you have a lot of time to think about stuff right there. So calling the timeout, pretty interesting. I feel like SI probably knew what it wanted to do, and it wasn't like it was running any dummy formations, a lot of movement to try to draw someone off sides.
Again, when they come out of this timeout, there'll be 2 seconds left, 28-7. St. Ignatius up right now on Bellarmine. And depending on what St. Ignatius does, either way, if it's 4th down and they go for it, you got to get the stop. And if they punt it away, either way, it's still imperative Bellarmine gets points on this next possession.
Yeah, I mean, if there's one way of thinking about it, all you want to do is end this quarter down 21 with the ball in your hand. Doesn't matter how that happens, but that's the key thing. It looks like they'll be punting it away.
Yeah, Keelan O'Connell on the field to punt. Nobody back deep now. Izon Henry will go back. It's like Bellarmine in a punt return safe situation of watching for a fake. It's punted away, and it takes a Bellarmine bounce to the 34, and that's how we'll end quarter number 3. So we'll switch sides of the field. again, Bellarmine looking for points as they trail 28-7.
Yeah, and I think for Bellarmine, this is the drive for the game right now. You mess up here, not a good chance of scoring as the band begins to dance down there. Not a lot of people came out for this game. Bellarmine is on a break, but good to see some energy down on the benches.
Well, it is October. I don't know if you can hear it over the broadcast. Got a little bit of a thriller action going on here. Still not too close to midnight on the West Coast, however, just a little bit after 9 o'clock. Again, see Coach Janda going over some play calls with his offense. They'll have the ball at their own 35. And again, it'll be interesting to see who we see come out at quarterback to start this possession, because that gives you a pretty good idea of what they're thinking about, how they want to attack this first drive of the fourth quarter.
I think Wade Smith's time is done, just because if they wanted to put a running quarterback in, they'll probably go with Moreno.
And looks like you're right on that, because in comes Joaquin Moreno, number 14.
Yeah, I think the biggest issue for the Bellarmine team, above even trying to score, is time of possession right now. Because these drives Bellarmine takes take a lot of time.
And they go with the quarterback, Joaquin Moreno gets pretty good gain there, about 6.
Moreno coming back to the sideline to get the call and hustling back out. Bellarmine probably has to score with 9 minutes left, just accounting for time in each drive if they want a chance to keep it going.
Yeah, they definitely need to go quickly here. So far, not too much of a sense of urgency. Again, that flex bone formation. There's the toss. Henry lowers his head and bowls forward. Then they'll get the first down.
Yeah, again, always that momentum Henry gets off those pitches just cuts it right up the middle. It's a good chunky yards.
Ball at the 49. Clock begins to roll. Now approaching 11:15 to go in the final frame of action. And now here comes Wade Smith into the game. Again, still pretty reserved in terms of the tempo for Bellarmine. And they're going to give on a sweep here to Izon Henry. And it's been a pretty good job of this St. Ignatius defense of playing sideline to sideline, not letting big plays happen outside.
Yeah, the pursuit has been incredible there. Linebackers, especially Buchanan, as we've seen, done a great job roaming the middle, making sure nothing really breaks to the outside. Beautiful job by SI, because that's what Bellarmine, especially in these situations, is going to try to do. They're going to try to stretch you horizontally and then run it up the gut vertically after they're making you think a lot.
2nd and 8. And double wing set to that left side. And Moreno tries to hurdle over someone and not to much avail, as it'll be 3rd and 6 as we approach 10 minutes now to go in regulation.
Yeah, still not a lot of sense of urgency from this Bellarmine sideline. They are hurrying up a little bit, but not the breakneck pace you'd expect to see from a high school offense facing a 21-point deficit.
And maybe this is the reason why they're switching up quarterbacks so much, too. Once one play is done, you have another quarterback ready with the play to go in, because, again, Wade Smith now back in the game.
That's a great point. I didn't actually think about that.
And they fake the sweep to Henry. Here comes Smith, and it is absolutely snuffed out on the right side. That's Jafer Snipes on the play. Good job there by Snipes, staying and reading his keys and staying with his responsibility.
Yeah, and we all know what this play call is going to be here. It's going to be another run by Bellarmine. 4th and 4. There's around 9 minutes left to go. Wade Smith comes in. Tyreek Madriz-Jinx also in the game. This is going to be big for the Bells, because if they don't get it here, as Tommy Anderson actually comes in, which casts some doubt on what Bellarmine is going to do. If they don't get it here, the defense can't sit back now. They got to be thinking turnover the entire way.
Well, the big thing, again, Tyreek Madriz-Jinx in the 6'4" senior. When you have Tommy Anderson, the passing quarterback, they might be looking his way, as they do, and it is caught. Nice grab right around the 38-yard line. First down, Bellarmine.
And Tommy Anderson, listening to the call, he'll probably be sticking in now as Bellarmine tries to pass the ball a lot more. Great little 5-6 yard out there. Easy pitch and catch. Great catch by Tyreek Madriz-Jinx. First down Bells as they're trying to march and get back into this game.
8:26 now to go. Anderson stays in. They give to Henry up the middle, churning those legs, but a swarm of Wildcats is there waiting for him at the 35-yard line.
And Siaki Hunkin, who we have mentioned a lot.
He's been all over.
Yeah. Great play there, too, just stopping Henry in his tracks, halting all that momentum, limiting him to just a 4-yard gain.
Second down and 6. Now coming in for quarterback Wade Smith. And again, you have Tyreek Madriz-Jinx here on your right side of the screen. Last time he was in, they threw the ball right to him. This time Smith's going to keep it and nothing much doing. And guess who? He's done it on both sides of the ball today. Teddy Buchanan was there on the stop.
Yeah, great job by Buchanan, but we're looking at the clock. 4:30 off right now, and Bellarmine facing a 3rd and 6 at the 35-yard line. I don't know what Coach Janda has planned, but you'd like to see a little more urgency if they get this first down here. You know, they're down 3 touchdowns. It's not like it's just one score and you're back in it. They got a lot of work to do.
Tommy Anderson in once again at quarterback, probably a passing situation. St. Ignatius brings the blitz. Anderson rolls out to his left, but brought down behind the line of scrimmage. A good play. I believe that was number 8, Ben Richards, on the play. Excuse me, Jafer Snipes.
Yeah, Jafer Snipes does a great job. Tommy Anderson evades the pressure, rolls out, tried to look to pass because, you know, that's his forte, but tucked it in. Jafer Snipes slides in there, trips up Anderson, stops what probably would have been a first down conversion.
4th and 7 now, and again, Anderson will be in to try to get this 7 yards, possibly some more.
Bellarmine going in a spread out look here.
Anderson looks, now has to step up. Here comes the pressure, and down he goes right around the 49-yard line. Number 64 was all over him for St. Ignatius as a turnover on down.
And that's, I mean, still a lot of time left in this game, 6 minutes to go. The Bellarmine defense has forced some turnovers, but that's a backbreaker right there. I mean, you're going to face a lot of challenges now. You're going to need some luck alongside just great play calling as well.
Well, not only just that, you think about it, you all that time just ran off the clock, and you have no points to show for it. So now, if you're the defense, not only are you thinking turnover, you need to find a way to get a turnover, possibly a scoop and score a pick 6. Look, a little bit of a miscommunication in the backfield. Zach Taylor-Smith dancing around, gets his way back to around the original line of scrimmage.
You know, we kind of mentioned this earlier, tackling the ball versus tackling the player. At this point of the game, you think these defensive ends, linebackers, when they're trying to get at the quarterback, they're going all in for those strip sacks.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing now is you have to gang tackle. The first guy is always responsible for tackling the player. Second guy, third guy, they come in, and the responsibility is try to get that ball out. For St. Ignatius in no rush at all right now. 5:23 to go. Zach Taylor-Smith again in at quarterback. Here comes the run off to the left side and lowering that shoulder, trying to get some extra yards. Again, we talked about it. Adam Hayashi, not the biggest of corners, but he held his ground there to prevent any extra yardage. So it'll be 3rd down.
He's a fighter. I mean, whenever he's on the field, he's always working hard. He's always competing. He's giving it his all. You know, makes the most of the talent he's been given and the size he has to deal with, especially against all these large receivers. I mean, SI is uniquely built to challenge him in that regard.
Yeah, we talked about the size, and if you're a college football aficionado, one way you can look at the receiving core for the St. Ignatius offense. Look at the Texas Longhorns. A lot of guys 6'3", 6'4", and over. Zach Taylor-Smith throws. It is caught. Big hit eyes on Henry, and it's going to prevent the first down conversion. What a great play to drive on that ball by Azon Henry.
Yeah, this is why you play off coverage. You know, read, react, and that's the key thing. You have to make the tackle. Azon Henry did that there. Great job stopping the SI offense. So they're still going to bleed some clock before they decide what to do.
Now, fourth down, clock now right around 4 minutes to go. Offense still on the field. They need 2 yards to get the first down. And for all intents and purposes, they're going to go for it. Zach Taylor-Smith looks now, throws, tipped, and caught. Oh, when everything's going your way, it goes your way. First down, St. Ignatius, as that was Davis D'Souza on the tip drill for the Wildcats.
Yeah, that's a tough break there. I mean, Bellarmine's gotten some lucky breaks as well with that overthrown interception, but that's terrible. I mean, you saw the frustration on the field as well. The players thought they'd finally gotten that stop, given their offense another chance. Now this clock going to roll all the way down.
Yeah, anytime you get a tip or an overthrow on defense, you're hoping that you can capitalize and get an interception on that. And another run up the middle, only for a gain of about 2. Second down and 8 from the 35 for the Wildcats.
Yeah, they're probably going to take all of what the 40 seconds, 30 seconds they're given, bleed this clock dry, keep it on the ground.
And as you mentioned, another run, a good gain off that left side. About 6. Looks like you'll have 3rd and 2.
Yeah, and I think Coach Janda not using his timeouts now, it's a pretty good indication that this game is heading SI's way.
And then looking at it, just coming up next week for Bellarmine, they'll be back here next Friday night, 7 o'clock start against Valley Christian. Another one of those good teams in the WCAL. Zach Taylor-Smith looks, throws, easy completion. And a broken tackle for some extra yards. That is number 82 on the grab for the Wildcats, Sam Cooper. And it's another first down now, back in the red zone of the Wildcats.
Yeah, one out of bounds there, stopping the clock, but really interesting thing there by SI. Playing off this Bellarmine propensity to play the run, obviously. Got a wide open tight end for a lot of yards. Kept the chains moving.
Here comes the run up the middle.
You know, Dominic Gutadaro, who made that tackle there, has been a revelation for this Bellarmine defense in this game. He's done a lot of great hits and some great plays overall. It's been wonderful to watch. The Bellarmine defense as a whole has had some good competitors and some good plays. It's been, as we said, this game has come down to a few inches here and there.
And again, the big thing is when you have a team with the talent that St. Ignatius has, the ultimate goal is, again, you need your offense to help you keep their offense off the field. And coming off the 28-point effort for Bellarmine, which was one of their best offensive outputs so far on the season, you know, they got to be disappointed with just the 7 on the board so far. As again, another run goes out of bounds, so the clock will stop at 1:03.
Yeah, I mean, a great example if you want to look to the NFL is like the 49ers this year.
Yeah.
And last year, their offense really struggled. The defense gave up a lot of points for that reason. We're constantly on the field. This year, offense time of possession has been great. Defense has been fresh and ready to go.
And I was going to say, it's been a phenomenal defense, obviously led by Robert Solid, the defensive coordinator, allowing Kyle Shanahan and company to do exactly their magic on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, you look at it from all three levels of it on the 49ers defense. Very impressive and a lot of really good playmakers.
So, and you know, one thing I noticed here as there's a kneel down by Taylor Smith is how teams are taking victory formations from the shotgun. It's one of those weird things for me how, you know, everyone's talking about the spread offense coming in and everyone working out of the gun. But victory formations out of the gun, that's something else.
Again, a little bit of that new school offense. You usually don't see a lot of teams. For example, you look at Washington State in college football, the Cougars, they do the air raid, a lot of shotgun. They're similar with this too in terms of they have a pistol formation, a glorified pistol formation, to take a knee.
I don't know. I mean, maybe I should accept it, but
Oh, no, I'm with you.
It's weird to me.
I'm with you. So that's probably going to just about do it, as that actually was 4th down. So you have 13 seconds left on the clock, possibly one more play left for Bellarmine on offense. Some of the fans here giving the Bellarmine kids a round of applause for their efforts tonight.
Do you take a knee here, or do you run a play and try to, you know, get some yards here?
I think they'll probably just go ahead and run a play.
For Bellarmine, this will drop them to 2-5, 1-3, I believe, in league play. Not the best case scenario for this team.
And the next up for St. Ignatius, as there's eyes on Henry over the left side, fighting until the final whistle. Phenomenal effort from eyes on Henry. Looks like he will have a first down with 1.4 seconds to go. Again, coming up next week on the 26th, a 2 o'clock start. Archbishop Riordan and St. Ignatius. That is the next matchup for the Wildcats. So there is the final whistle. Again, a pretty good performance here by St. Ignatius. And again, disappointing coming off that win for Bellarmine. They only were able to put up 7 points today as they fall 28-7.
Yeah, I mean, momentum basically stopped here. You still saw what you wanted to see out of your defense, some great plays. This came down to a turnover here, a turnover there. A few inches off some batted passes, you'd be looking at a different result. For the Bells, regroup, rethink their strategy, try to come out against Valley Christian and walk away with another league win.
And it's going to be another tough one in a week for Bellarmine. Again, for Akshak Dweevelt Dula, my name is Jordan Watkins. Thanks again for tuning in on another Friday night here in the Bay Area. Enjoy the rest of your night and have a good weekend.